man deserves it.
I tell you what, if anybody deserves it, is this great man. I feel as honoured as he is for getting the honour.
What about this fixture? Over the years, you must have had some cracking tussles together.
Well, not as many against Wigan, but I had some fond memories here playing in the Lancashire Cup final against Swinton in particular. That was really great. But at Wigan, I always struggled here.
Billy, obviously it's another terrific atmosphere. How do you reckon it might be going this evening?
Well, my money's on Wigan, but when Tom was playing and we was playing, St Helens always seemed to beat us, but I think we'll change it over tonight.
You had one or two nice little breaks in Challenge Cup finals and so on. Do you think it might be Saints' year, this one?
Well, they've been doing very well up to now, and I only hope they keep up the same form. And well, all I can say is I hope and I wish the best team wins and be a good game.
Well, congratulations to you particularly, Billy. Thank you for coming, and I'm sure you'll...
Hoven on the left lead out the respective sides into this cauldron of noise. Between them, Boston and Van Vollenhoven top the league's try charts 6 times in 7 seasons between 1956 and 1962. Boston, scorer of 571 career tries for Wigan. Van Vollen, quick play the ball here though, and the Wigan defence might be stretched. Goulding, long pass, Hammond attacking Edwards. Hammond looking over the shoulder, no one in support. Sullivan is there, he gets the ball off the ground to Goulding, and Goulding goes for the 1 point and gets it. Well, it's the Bobby Goulding show just now.
Tremendous thinking there by the skipper Goulding. He knows how what.
14 now in Super League for Smythe. He's put Wigan back in the game. Henry Paul. 1 or 2 little doubts about Andrew Farrell's fitness before the match. He's not taking the goals. Henry Paul is, and Henry Paul makes it 7-6.
Well, a rush of blood came to the fullback Steve Prescott. He sent the ball out wide. Smythe picks it up. Sullivan made a desperate attempt to try to get to him, and you can see from the high shot.
The Saints have made a change. Simon Booth is off, and Chris Morley, the Welsh international, has come on. And this is Danny Arnold, straight into the chest of Horton. Cunningham to Goulding. And there's Morley. Gets the St Helens team over the halfway line. Cunningham. McVie. He tore holes in Wigan on the Good Friday fixture at Knowsley Road, and he's having a big game early here tonight. Another high testing kick from Goulding. Prescott's after it. Henry Paul stands right in front of Prescott. Prescott gets it. Newlove out wide is Sullivan. Sullivan across the face of play and still going, taking on a fire running through him, but he couldn't get away from Edwards, and that was on the last tackle.
Good run from Sullivan. He's back to his best, but it's a good job that Sean Edwards was sweeping up at the back. He went through would-be tacklers. Martin Fire barely got a finger on him, but Edwards sweeps up. It's going to be a test of the character from both sides now, but the pace is absolutely amazing.
This now is Henry Paul, tackled by Anthony Sullivan, who set off on that amazing run. And this is Simon Horton. I beg pardon, that was Terry O'Connor. This is Sean Edwards. Now it's Twiggamala. Twiggamala gets the ball in field to a Fire, who escapes the clutches of 2 and 3. Runs between the next 2. Edwards is there. Robinson's there. Robinson with pace. Can Prescott cut him out? No. Robinson scores. A vital try for Wigan. Scored by Jason Robinson. Created by the run from Martin Fire.
Good work from Twiggamala. He gets the ball alive. Fire did position himself so well. You'll see him come back on the inside. The sliding defence all went too high. No one picked him off. And once he got through, Edwards, who always lurched down the middle, and once Robinson got the football, it was shut the gate. Oh, wonderful stuff. Out wide, the long ball from Edwards. But keep your eye on Edwards in the middle of the screen. See how it just saunters down the middle, and that is the key thing. He pops up out of nowhere. That's how he does it. But look at the speed on Robinson. Legs pumping. He swings the right arm. He knows he's there. The crowd rise to one of the great stars.
Tries in his last 4 matches now for Jason Robinson, and 2 Wigan tries in 4 minutes. It's turned the game. Henry Paul, 1 from 1. 11 goals in Super League before today. He missed last Sunday against Oldham. And he started off tonight just 5 points short of 500 in the British game. If he lands this, he's 1 point away from the landmark. He's 3 points away. 10-7, Wigan lead. 2 tries, 4 minutes.
The play's way out on the left. There's Edwards circled. Watch his run. He just trots down the middle and waits. He knows something's going to crop up. He sets off. Tremendous play.
Ball bounces off the knees of the St Helens man, and Twigamala moves in for the kill. Sean McRae, these are hectic moments for him.
Well, he won't be happy. He should be. But McRae won't be happy because of the fact that they're sliding defence.
He stretches Wigan's advantage a little further. 18 points to 7. Let's hear from his kid brother, Robbie, who's down on pitch side with Alistair.
Well, even by summer Super League standards, this is a quick game.
Yeah, it's fast out there. Boys, you can really see there's some tired faces out there as well. Both teams are putting a lot of pressure on each other. Bobby was his kicking game and Wigan just with their attack. It should, you know, it's shaping up to be a high point scoring game.
And your brother's beginning to have a little bit of a say in it all now.
Yeah, he's finding his feet in the game and he's getting a little bit more confident. I think he should be running more with the ball and just attacking constantly.
The important thing is that Saints don't actually start panicking and stick to the game plan.
Yeah, they got to stick to their guns. They got to stick to what they know and stick to what works for them, and not fall into the trap of doing what Wigan do is the pass around flashy game. They got a great power game, and they have a great kicking game on the end of their go forward step.
Robbie Paul and his brother Henry. It's worth mentioning again that he has passed 500 points in the British game now and has made 4 clean breaks tonight already, and we've been playing just half an hour. But what a super contest this is. 2 great sides.
Well, they'll run themselves to a standstill. They know how important it is. Neat little kick. That will get them back into shape. Slow things down. You can see he came from the open. Picked the spot superbly. He knows that they've got to just get another try before half-time. They've got plenty of time, too. But there you can see 9 kicks in general play. Most of them came early in the game. That's where they were applying the pressure and scoring the points.
Edwards feeds the scrum and gives it to Farrell. And he is waltzed to the ground by Carl Hammond. Paul to Connolly. Is it my imagination, or has the tempo just eased slightly on the field and on the terraces?
Well, I think the message has gone out from both coaches to just calm things down. It's that panic play that's brought about 3 tries. They've all come around from those mistakes, trying to force the pass or the knock-on, settle things down a bit.
Twigamala, Edwards was clattered after he got rid of the pass by Hammond. Referee had a little glance. Edwards had more than a glance.
Hammond was committed.
Here's Edwards, he's all right. The kick into the arms of Prescott.
Wasn't the best kick either. Right down his throat, and he wouldn't be happy with that. He'd be happy with the scoreline, though. They fought back well of Wigan. They really did roll the sleeves up. They were down 7 points and looking very rocky.
Perolini with the big rush over the halfway line. Cunningham to Goulding. This is the battle between Goulding and Sean Edwards. And who's winning it, Steve-O?
Well, you'd have to put it to Sean Edwards because his sweeping ability have come to the rescue of Wigan, especially in those early 15 minutes.
But Goulding is kicking more in general play, isn't he?
Yep. It's just turning around, all for different reasons.
Morley grounded midway inside the Wigan half of the field. And it's with Goulding now again. This time he chips one over the top. Fire is after it. Robinson gets it. Robinson took that one cleanly enough, but under no pressure.
Apart from his own player, Martin Fire. A little bit of a mix-up then, but Robinson called for it. Well, we discussed it before the start of this game. Now, Bobby Goulding uses this right wing for Danny Arnold.
That was a lovely ball from Henry Paul to Connolly, and Connolly is jinked inside Cunningham. Connolly now accelerates past Goulding. He's got Edwards in support. Is this going to be a breathtaking Wigan try? Edwards takes the tackle from Prescott. From one end of the field to the other. 2 tackles gone. Plenty of time for Wigan. Connolly almost going to ground. Now he does. That's 3 tackles gone. Edwards to Twiggamala. Twiggamala with strength. Twiggamala goes all the way. Vaiga, Twiggamala, they stayed up him. And you can't do that to a man of this ability and that size. And he gets the try. Dejection for Sean McRae, but the 4 points for Twiggamala.
So much strength. Look at this. They went low, but he just brushes them apart. What a great finish, but what a tremendous try. Wigan got themselves into this position. It was Edwards that took the pass from Connolly. He throws the dummy. Arnold, nothing could stop that man. What a finish. The neat flip by Paul, and look at Connolly there. Steps around Cunningham, steps on the gas, and he slows things down to decide which way he's going to do it. And look, Edwards again. What a master this man is at the backup game. He didn't panic. He knew it was early in the tackle can. He knew that a quick play of the ball would see the Saints defence all at sea. And when he got finishing like that, it's hard to stop.
One of the biggest smiles in the game from Vaiga Twiggamala, a true Goliath in the Super League. A terrific try, adding to the one he scored at Knowsley Road in April. And this is a shame. Henry Paul is going off injured, and obviously in some pain as he makes his way to the sideline. Martin Hall then, the Welsh international, will take over the kicking. Sympathetic round of applause for Henry Paul. And he's obviously in a bit of pain, and that's a blow for Wigan's hopes. But what a try from Twiggamala. This is his 90th appearance, by the way, and that was his 51st try. Not a bad strike rate. Hall, with the conversion attempt, just pulls it on the narrow side of the posts. 22 points to 7, though. Saints had better be careful. Wigan are pulling away.
This is the incident where Paul does get injured. The flip back on the inside, and you can see that joints pull the leg underneath him. And that could be a serious injury. But what tremendous effort. Length of the field stuff. Crowd enjoyed that.
Craig Murdoch is the man who has picked up the place of Henry Paul, and that was Martin Afire who picked up a ball that he patted back towards his own line. More pressure here for St Helens. This is Cowie.
Saints defence is stretched again. Long ball from Edwards, perhaps.
Murdoch, Farrell, misses out Edwards, misses out Connolly. Bounces all the way to Rob Smythe, who has got Sullivan ahead of him and Paul Newlove. Just to confirm, Murdoch has come on in place of Paul. Robinson, Newlove has got him. Couldn't make any progress. Joint finished him off. Here's Cassidy. Had a shaky start, but has really got his game back together now in the last 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. Murdoch. Edwards. Edwards to Twiggamala. Beautiful ball. Acceleration from Twiggamala. The ball in field to Arnold. And St Helens breathe another sigh of relief.
Good play by the youngster. Twiggamala got the ball back on the inside, and Arnold just picked it through, but it was wonderful play again by Sean Edwards. The Saints anticipated the kick. He threw the dummy and then missed 3 men out with a long ball out wide to Twigamala. Changing the tactics now. Edwards is controlling.
Yes, he is the general. No doubt about that. He's winning the battle at the moment with Goulding. McVie trying to bounce his way up the middle. Strong tackle from Horton and Cowie. And off goes Henry Paul in obvious distress. Little chip over the top by Perolini. Robinson picks it up. And then Alan Hunt comes in with the tackle. That's the 0 tackle, though. Hall. Farrell. He must be injured, Andy Farrell, because why, if he's not injured, is Martin Hall now taking the conversion attempts of any try?
Well, they probably don't want to risk the problem with his groin. Oh, that was on the shirt. That was okay. Just looked awful.
David Campbell agrees with you.
And you see Morley just grabs him. Oh, he did well to not come out of that injured. See the legs went underneath him. But I think that's the reason why Farrell doesn't want to take the chance of stretching any problems in his leg with kicking.
Cowie, great strength from Cowie. Oh, and he unloads the ball to Hall, who as he falls gets it to Murdoch, and he finds Edwards. Edwards to Horton. Horton gets round the challenge of Hammond, first time but not second time. That's the last one.
Went pretty high as well, did Hammond.
And Horton didn't like it. Edwards with a drop goal attempt. It just squirms wide of the posts.
Well, like Bobby Goulding thinking all the time, there you could see that it was Hammond went right across the face. It was a palm of the hand. Certainly wasn't the knuckle involved. Well, the first 15 minutes, it was Wigan that was going far too high, not getting in the big tackles. I'm afraid now it's St. Helens who are looking a little bit ragged in their defence. They are bouncing off these Wigan players.
Cunningham straight into Twigamala, who didn't move. Helped out in the tackle by Murdoch. We enter the last minute of this pulsating first half. McVie. Oh, loses it in the tackle. He's claiming it was stolen. If it was legal. And Connolly fancies a race with Prescott. Connolly's going to win the race. Connolly just doesn't get there. Oh, dear. He slides straight into the surrounding wall, and Connolly has not moved. And what's more, Prescott has got in the crowd as well.
Well, it's a good job, Eddie, that there was a gate there. The way that it was travelling, he maybe just caught it side on, but imagine what could have happened if it had gone straight into the billboards. That's brick behind there.
I think the referee has called for the screen to see if there's a touch on this, which there plainly wasn't.
Well, that's good refereeing, because David Campbell was so far back, and thankfully, just caught the back of his spine there. But thankfully, he found the gate. Well, it was so quick, wasn't it, from Connolly? You can't blame the referee. He can't get through to that one.
No try given. Referee, though, very wise, just to check that at pace, Gary Connolly didn't get a touch. So half a minute of this first half to go. Obviously, the touch judge and the referee may be caught flat-footed by Gary Connolly's searing run up the middle. And he's very wise, if he's behind the play like that, David Campbell, to go for the screen and not make any mistake. Morley on halfway. The Wigan tackles now are biting. Cunningham. Connolly none the worse for his experience with the wall, it would appear. Although McVie just brushed him aside then, and McVie still going. There's the half-time siren. The referee blows the half-time whistle. And what a great first half it's been for Shaun Edwards and Jason Robinson, who's running 2 tries here. Twigamala got the last 5 minutes before half-time. That gives us a 22 points to 7 advantage for Wigan. Connolly is A-OK after crashing into the surrounding wall here at Central Park. But after a blistering start by Saints, it's Wigan who've come back and finished the half stronger, and they lead by 22 points to 7 as we reach the halfway mark.
think about me?
Seeks big game.
Don't contact me. I'll contact you.
Stallone and Stone, The Specialist, Saturday at 10. Sky Movies.
The Specialist, just one of over 50 premieres in June alone on Sky's movie channels. For your hotline to Hollywood,
call 0990 10 20 30 and we'll switch you on.
£11,215 plus...
That's just for the car, Tom. Now add £605 for delivery and road tax, then add servicing. That's £472. Daewoo price forms help you compare the cost of buying and owning a Daewoo with buying and owning a competitor's car. Daewoo think that they should make it this easy. After all, an 8-year-old can do it. Don't forget air conditioning. So, Tom, what does that make?
That's over £2,000 more.
For more information, phone 0800 666 222. Everything included on a Daewoo. That'll be the Daewoo price.
What happens when you choose a pension through Bradford and Bingley?
Son? Yeah. I found this leaflet in your kitchen about pensions from Bradford and Bingley. Apparently, they aren't tied to any one insurance company, so they can offer you an independent point of view. And no other major bank or top 10 building society can do this. You should look into it.
I already did. Hey, why do your fingers always go wrinkly in the bath?
What?
Once your money's sorted out, you'll need something else to worry about.
It's Wigan 22, St Helens 7 at half-time. 2 tries from Robinson, 1 from Smythe, 1 from Twigamala. The goals from Henry Paul before he went off injured. St Helens, it's been all Bobby Goulding with their 7 points. And that's the view of Central Park from our airship hovering above the pitch here tonight. Terrific pictures from way, way up there. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of this, the top match in Super League so far, a vital game for both sides. St Helens going into that 7-point lead, but since then it has been Wigan all the way. Now Robbie Paul, the brother of Henry Paul, is our guest on the programme here tonight. You're only just into the studio. You must have been checking on Henry. How is he?
Oh, well, he's picked up an old injury that he picked up in when he was playing the Union games, his ankle. He's not going to be back for the rest of the game, so it's something of concern, yeah.
So he's out. We won't see him again.
The call's been from the sideline that he won't be back.
But it's a terrific game for Wigan. I mean, they went behind early, and they looked like they were on the ropes, didn't they?
Yeah, Saints put a lot of pressure on them. Bobby with his kicking game, of course. Wigan, just constant pressure on attack has just kept Saints on their back foot. And in the last 2 kicks from Bobby, you see that they haven't given the same amount of pressure on that kick pressure. But, you know, all credit to Wigan. They're a great attacking team. They can score from anywhere on the field, as you've seen today. And I'm sure it's going to be the same in the second half.
Well, Robbie's saying that Henry Paul won't come out between now and the end of the match. Let's go and get confirmation of what the problem is with Henry, because Downstairs, Alistair has been talking to the medical staff.
Well, basically, it's as Robbie called, really. Henry apparently had a very old ankle ligament injury, and somewhere within the move that led to the last try of the half there, he appears to have re-aggravated it, and it appears he will not be reappearing today, certainly. Let's hope that he will be back in the near future. As yet, they can't say how long he will be out for.
Thanks, Alistair. Latest news then from the Wigan dressing room. So it's been a pulsating first half, Steve-O, hasn't it?
Unbelievable. Everything went right for Saints. They got their game plan sorted out. We knew that they were going to kick to Jason Robinson, and it proved. Why they've changed the tactic is beyond me, because we knew that Bobby Goulding would kick eventually to the corner, but they knew that Robinson was in so much trouble. The first two kicks, the first one came, created the try, they put the pressure on, and Wigan really were reeling. But full credit to them, they had a tremendous side. They just show how professional they are. They slowed things down, the forwards started just getting the yards, get those vital yards, just give the time for the three quarters to set up. And when you've got the linking qualities of Edwards, and that's what's happening. And they launched from deep within their own quarter.
Yeah, Edwards has had a sensational first 40 minutes, hasn't he? He, Robbie, is the man who has controlled it all the way through for Wigan.
Yeah, he's got the team back online, you know. They were struggling right at the beginning. Even their fitness looked like they were a bit in doubt. But Edwards' little short passes, they're doing some ruck moves up the middle of the field, tiring out the Saints' big forwards, and then they're giving it to their backs. You know, the likes of Connolly, Inga, the wingers, my brother, and before he went off, they started splitting them. And then came the tries.
Do you think it's Wigan's day after all this?
Well, being that my brother plays for them, I am a little bit biased, and I'll have to say yes, yeah. I do think Wigan's going to come away with the win, and I think they will enlarge their score as well, because they always come out in the second half and they normally devastate the team. And they did it against us. It was 6-0 to them, and then they come out and the end score was 28-6, something like that.
Steve-O, the battle between Goulding and Edwards, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, it's Shaun Edwards' night so far.
Oh, without a doubt. I think that the first 15 minutes went to Bobby Goulding, but Edwards got everything sorted out. Look at that, 12 tackles. And not only just 12 tackles, there was about 4 of those that were try-saving tackles. Okay, missed tackles around about the same. Offloads, you can see that Shaun Edwards, slowly but surely in this first half, taking control, Bobby Goulding going backwards. Meters gained, Bobby Goulding got so many good meters early in the game, but again, has gone out of the game as we came up to the second half. Clean breaks, 8-6. So Goulding is a man that can turn him around. He has the ability to do it, but it really has, he's got to get this forwards working. They look to be very quiet with about 10 minutes to go.
Well, they did, but Edwards is the key to it. Now, what will Sean McRae, do you think, be saying in the dressing room now, Robbie? What will his message be to the Saints?
Stop them. It'll be as easy as that. We're going to just come in at them. They're having the run of the game at the moment. The second half of the first half, they're just allowed to do whatever they want, and that's the way we're going to play. If you let Wigan play like that, they're going to damage you. They're going to punish you. They're going to make you pay for it. That's what's happening.
They've got to get their defence sorted out. The first 15 minutes was their key. They had Wigan on the backward step, and they've got to do it now. They've got to really throw everything in that first 15 minutes of the second half. If they don't, Wigan in this form, they could run riot.
Well, they haven't done badly in the first 40 minutes, have they? They went behind early, but like a great champion team, they came up off the ropes, and they have hit back, and they are the side that leads at the break. It's the champions for the past 7 years, ahead of the pretenders from Knowsley Road, the team that everyone is predicting will take over the mantle in Super League. Well, 22 points to 7. That's the half-time score.
£11,215 plus...
That's just for the car, Tom. Now add £605 for delivery and road tax, then add servicing. That's £472. Daewoo price forms help you compare the cost of buying and owning a Daewoo with buying and owning a competitor's car. Daewoo think that they should make it this easy. After all, an 8-year-old can do it. Don't forget air conditioning. So, Tom, what does that make?
That's over £2,000 more.
For more information, phone 0800 666 222. Everything included on a Daewoo. That'll be the Daewoo price.
Don't squeeze your movie on a little teeny telly. With home cinema, you can give it some welly. It's tall, it's wide, it's a monster too. And it comes from Toshiba. Look out, a great bird! Oh, sound from 5 speakers. Here, wait a minute. Watching it. I'm seeing it. The picture and the sound just grew and grew, and it comes from Toshiba. Your move, Mr. Blue. Can anything else come up to par? Now Toshiba's creative home cinema.
Why didn't you tell me you were inviting them?
I wanted to surprise you.
Surprise me then.
I eat Aunt the pasta twice just because she is so nice, Angelina. Angelina, waitress at the pizzeria.
When you walk through the global village, make sure you carry a global currency. Over 200 million people in over 200 countries speak MasterCard.
Pizza delivery.
Back up.
Every language speaks MasterCard.
New Instant Scratch Syndicates free in tomorrow's Daily Mirror. 3 goes to win in the £20 million lottery rollover, plus 6 new £50,000 scratch cards free with a 30p Daily Mirror tomorrow.
To say thank you to their customers, BT are giving money off longer calls in July.
And August.
And August. After you've been talking for 10 minutes, you automatically get 25% off the rest of the call, to anywhere.
Any time of the day.
Any time of the day. What's going on?
What do you reckon? It's a good offer, innit?
I don't know. I'm a duck.
It's good to talk, and it's even better in July and August.
The World Bowl.
They are fired up.
The climax of the World League of American Football.
What a play!
As last year's Zeros, the Scottish Claymores,
Touchdown, Scotland!
have become this year's heroes and take on defending champions Frankfurt Galaxy at Murrayfield. The World Bowl, Sunday, 5:30, exclusively live on Sky Sports 2.
Wigan are unbeaten here at Central Park in 37.5 league matches now. 22 points to 7. They lead at half-time. The glorious countryside around this particular part of the world. And back we come, and in amongst the scene is Central Park, this cathedral of rugby league. Home of the champions for the past 7 years. And as far as Shaun Edwards is concerned, the next 7 to come. Great crowd inside this great ground. And our view from on high, from the airship, looking down on the ground. And on a night like this is as pretty as a picture, and looking spick and span with all the crowd inside. Bobby Goulding knows he's got to get on top of his greatest rival, Shaun Edwards, in this second 40 minutes. If St Helens are to maintain their 100% unbeaten record at the top. A vital 40 minutes ahead. 22-7. Wigan lead at half-time as we get into the second 40 minutes. And the Saints know that this is their crunch time now. It's Wigan who have possession in the first set of 6. Horton plays the ball. This is Cassidy. Grounded by Adam Fogarty. Now, the danger man.
Sorry, Eddie, but a lot will depend on the Saints forwards to lead the way. They were impressive the first 15 minutes, but then went to sleep.
Number 23, Northey, has come on, and Anthony Sullivan's the man who's gone off. Andy Northey for the flying winger Sullivan. And we hear that Sullivan has got a twisted knee. So it's an injury that has forced Sullivan out of the remainder of this match, we fancy. Good kick downfield, meanwhile, from Martin Hall, just turning St Helens round.
The hooker took the blindside option. They all went looking for Shaun Edwards. But he does mix and match his game. In the Welsh squad for the big one.
But so too is Kieran Cunningham, his opposite number.
Isn't it great to have so many good hookers running around?
Well, we said before this season, Wales are blessed. And Wales against England on Wednesday. You can see it live and exclusive with us on Sky Sports. 7:30 we're on the air from the Cardiff Arms Park. That's the home of Cardiff Rugby Union Club, where Saints and Sheffield Eagles did battle a week or two ago, and the game itself kicks off at 8 o'clock. European Championship and the Championship of the UK on the line.
Good solid defence. You can see that the Wigan now are moving forward, one down, one over the top to stifle the pass.
That's a good run, and that's great support from Cunningham. And Cunningham's taking on Murdoch. He's got support there from Fogarty, and Fogarty takes the tumble. Quick play the ball here. The Wigan defence is stretched. It's Hammond. Hammond to Conti, drops it. Oh, St Helens early have bombed the try.
And it was there for the begging. You could see that Martin the Fire was sewing off the touchline. Twigamala went for the dummy. He made himself run at Carl Hammond, and a chance has gone begging. The Saints were desperate for that point. They really should have scored a try then.
I wonder if we've just seen the turning point of this match. I wonder if we've seen the turning point of the first Super League season. Farrell plays the ball quickly to Smythe. It's with Murdoch and now Edwards. Edwards over the top to Twigamala, a looping pass. The strength of Twigamala, and they will have to learn, Steve-O, you've got to drop on the knees of the big fella.
Get the ankles. Pretty solid all around. Well, the thinnest part of him, isn't it?
Good tactics these, though, by Wigan. The turning Saints round, slowing it down. They're ahead.
Switching the kickers as well. You could see that Shaun Edwards was being chased upon. They expect him to kick. A bit of switching tactics by the coach, Graham West. We saw Martin Hall kick earlier. Jason Robinson on that account. So they're taking the pressure. They're mixing and matching, which is good tactics.
That's a lovely ball. Newlove's through the gap. Paul Newlove is being tracked by Connolly. Paul Newlove against Connolly. Paul Newlove gets there. What a fantastic try from the world's most expensive player. From one end of the field to the other, from the scrum on the very first tackle. And Newlove has breathed life into St Helens.
They took the gamble. It was a beautiful pass. He threw the dummy, did Hammond. The two went for him. And bang! The most expensive player in rugby league. Paul Newlove. It looked as though Connolly was going to get to him. He decided to dive just a little bit too late, but the power takes him over. Excellent play here. They threw the dummy, and away he went. Look at him raise clear. Connolly looked as though he was going to get to him. Just makes a vain attempt. He tried to get the shirt to drag him back, but the momentum would always take the big fella over.
A breathtaking try from Newlove, and Goulding will add the extras. The battle's joined again at Central Park. 22 points to 13, and the 1 pointer could be important at the end of the day.
Two men went for the standoff. It was a superb pass. They took the gamble. Tremendous stuff. What a time to score a try when they desperately needed one.
His 22nd St Helens appearance today, and that's his 29th try in the St Helens colours. What a record for the man who cost £500,000. But if that try turns out to be the match turner for St Helens, the £500,000 will seem like small change to Saints.
Well, they blew the chance, didn't they, when Alan Hunt knocked on. You can see that Murdoch was quite happy to let that ball go into touch. Head and feet to Wigan. They won't mess around. They'll just calm things down. That's really rocked them. That's better defence.
Paul Newlove, 3 clean breaks, and the third was the one that produced 4 points. 6 minutes, second half gone. St Helens with a spring in their step. The ball was stolen. It was a two-man tackle. It's a penalty to Wigan.
Yeah, a hand was on. You can see that it was Cunningham that still had hold of the fella. And Carl Hammond reefing the ball clear. Little doubt in the mind of David Campbell, the referee, as Cunningham had hold of the big fella.
So penalty to Wigan. They're back in the St Helens half of the field. Farrell gives it to Simon Horton, and what a crunch tackle that was from Chris Joynt. It was a vital tackle. Edwards, Twigamala. Excitement around this ground. Only the second penalty of this match. The excitement around the ground when Twigamala or this fellow Robinson gets the ball, and Robinson is hauled down from behind. Jumps over Perolini, plays the ball to Hall. He finds Edwards, who gives it to Cassidy, and Cassidy comes up with another blunder. Start of the second half is exactly like the start of the first for Mick Cassidy.
Well, it was a pass back on the inside. I don't know why he's giving the round of the kitchen to his skipper, Edwards, because it was a pretty decent pass. He should have taken it. Well, the nightmare continues again for him. That's one against the head.
Now, ball never went in. David Campbell wants the scrum to reform.
Getting excited. Sean Edwards, he wants them to get this defence sorted out.
Offside against Edwards. He moved up. He moved up at the scrum. He was standing way out wide, allowing Murdoch to take the scrum half roll.
Never made any attempt to go back to 10. Well spotted by Campbell.
Edwards is quick, but as you say, Steve-O, he's not that quick.
When you're 2 yards in front of the other players, it's easy to spot.
Fogarty.
Now this is where Saints, the big fellas, have to really put some effort in now.
Steve-O, Henry Paul's on his way to hospital. He has a suspected broken ankle. That's terrible news for St Helens and for Wigan.
An awful blow to the Wigan camp. But they must take advantage of it now, the Saints. They've lost one of their star players, but it's got to be the big men. We've not seen a big run from Perolini yet. He's got to get into this game very quickly.
Chris Joynt plays the ball to Cunningham, and this is Goulding, and Goulding dabs one over the top. It was just a touch too long. The Fire was content to allow that to bounce harmlessly out of play.
Nice option. You can see that Alan Hunt was chasing through, but it was well covered by Martin Afire.
Well, that awful news on Henry Paul. Let's get reaction from within the family. His brother Robbie's with us tonight on sideline. He's with Alistair.
Well, initially they thought it was ankle ligaments. Now they think it's a broken ankle. What did it look like to you?
Well, I went in and spoke to him, and he said it's an old injury that he picked up about 3 years ago playing for the New Zealand Māoris. He heard it in the sevens, the rugby sevens, and then he heard it again tonight. They hope it's just the ligaments, but you can never be too sure.
Clearly it's therefore what you would say a precautionary check rather than maybe it's a serious suspected broken ankle.
Yeah, he's got a full movement of his toes. He does think it's pretty bad though, so hopefully it'll just be the ligaments, but you can never be too sure with the foot because there's so many bones and ligaments going around in there that you can't be too careful.
That was a great take from Steve Prescott as we were hearing from Robbie Paul, but they say, don't they, Steve-O, that you strain and damage the ligaments, sometimes that can be even worse than a break.
Yeah, it looks as though Henry Paul will be out for quite some time.
Great loss.
A shame.
Great loss to Super League.
Yep. Had a tremendous first half, didn't he, before he got taken off injured. Made so many breaks. But they've got to start looking for different tactics. And the man that's at dummy half and this guy that's got the football now, they've got the skill. So has this guy.
Great tackle by Cassidy, though, on Newlove. Cunningham gets the ball away to McVie. He's lasted the pace well, McVie. Cunningham dancing away from Edwards. Takes the tackle from Farrell. And Saints have made a change. Fogarty's off and Pickavance comes on. Goulding, meanwhile, pumps the ball over the top and finds touch.
Good kick as well, right down into the corner. Hoping perhaps that the mistake will come. Such a ferocious pace. Anything can happen. He knows he's got to get back into this game. Look at that, 12 kicks in general play. So vital early in the match. And he knows he's got to get back onto the song, but he's got to make sure that they get good meterage.
29 minutes to go. The most vital 29 minutes of the season thus far. The league leaders, their 100% record on the line. Ball out wide to Afire. Danger. Danger for St Helens when Afire has it. He applies the brakes. Gets away from some more defenders. Gets the ball to Hall, to Cassidy, to Farrell. To Farrell, it goes to Connolly. Connolly takes on Arnold round the outside, and Danny Arnold does well. Smythe to Farrell, to Cassidy. Cassidy comes up the middle, but Joint was waiting for him. Hall, O'Connor, Perolini tackles him. Last one. Hall thinks about the kick, goes for it. Tactics are obvious for Wigan.
Simple, basic football. No panic. When you use the hooker, take the pressure off Shaun Edwards once again. Martin Hall took the responsibility. Now then, Saints scored a try from a set piece from the scrum base. Can they do it again?
Not for the time being. Northey takes the tackle from Robinson and Farrell. It's Prescott, and he helps it on to Hammond, who in turn brings in Alan Hunt. He keeps the movement going to Prescott again. Now Pickavance. Fresh legs for St Helens. Good tackling, though, by Cowie and Horton. Cunningham makes those vital meters from dummy half. He does well. He uses Cowie as the foil. Cowie was the man who was offside, and Cunningham still going.
Trouble is, they're not supporting the man.
Here's Hammond. Tries to go around Cowie and does. Joint the dummy half. The ball wasn't played properly, but there was interference at the play of the ball. Wigan are penalised.
Well, you can see that Shaun Edwards had the hand on him, so it was deemed that he interfered, that Hammond couldn't play the ball correctly.
They've spurned the opportunity of 2 points. They want 6. Cunningham.
What a match he's having, the hooker. Kieran Cunningham, he's not giving in.
Neither's Goulding, and Morley looked round. There was no one in support, but Connolly had shot out of the line to cut the options down. Edwards gets the tackle in. This is Hunt, Alan Hunt. He hit Cowie, and Cowie did well to stand his ground. Hall was in there also. Desperation in the Wigan defence. Cunningham off the ground to Goulding. Wigan have moved up quickly, and Pickavance goes without the ball.
Under pressure, took his eyes off the football. Could see the big frame of Terry O'Connor coming to him, I think it was, or was it Horton? Well, what a bad mistake from the substitute, Ian Pickavance.
They've learned the lesson of the first half, though, and they're going low on Twigamala. That was a good tackle by Hammond. This is Cassidy. Martin Hall. Farrell. Good tackling by Joint.
Good set of 5 there. That really was good work by the forwards.
Connolly slides the kick through. One for Smythe to chase. Prescott picks up. Edwards is after him. Smythe gets him. Smythe wrestles him to the floor. Well, that'll be the 0 tackle. Nothing lost for Saints.
What a great kick and chase, though. The hooker Hall was put under pressure. Connolly got it through, but they really did race onto them. Look at that. Backpedaling the full-back Steve Prescott.
Cunningham gives the ball wide to McVie again. Goulding. Pickavance went with it this time. Joint. Cowie was quick from the marker position. Goulding gets the pass away to Morley. Morley up the middle, takes on Edwards and O'Connor. That's where St Helens are as Goulding hoists the bomb again. Connolly's underneath it. He's the England fullback. He's safe as houses.
They try to catch out the Wigan defence there, but you can see Connolly, the centre, had gone back well.
Robinson's turning. Prescott inside out. That's good play by Robinson. Northey's there, but Murdoch's in support, and Murdoch scores. Craig Murdoch was the man scampering up in support of the elusive Jason Robinson. Saints thought they'd shut the door, but Robinson managed to get the ball away, and Murdoch, the super sub, did the rest.
Once again, explosive stuff. The run on the blind side, he just went through him. It was very poor second marker. And the speed away. And Murdoch, as Eddie said, super sub they call him. But what another great run from the dummy half position. The Saints' defence on the blind side was caught. It's a good drive through by Andy Frowell. And from the play, the ball, Robinson explodes. Look at that. The markers were caught. Cunningham had gone to the right, but I'm afraid that Pickavance was caught short. Great support play. Kicks away, but he knows he's got support there. Murdoch enjoyed this. So did the Wigan crowd. That was a great try.
Craig Murdoch, 7th try for him in 9 matches. And what a break from Jason Robinson. And the extras are added by Martin Hall. And the champions respond again, 28-13.
Cunningham goes to the open, but look how Pickavance just held it there. You've got to move away quicker than that at the marker position. Otherwise, you pay the price. What a game that Jason Robinson is having. Tremendous run from dummy half. Good support play.
Kick off from Wigan. Underneath it is Andy Northey. Grits his teeth and off he goes. Neil Cowie's gone off. Scott Quinnell bringing the curtain down on his Wigan career. He leaves after this match and will take up a new career with Richmond.
Well, we just saw a pretty half-hearted run there by the big fella, Apollo Perolini. I don't think he's fully fit, you know.
This fella is Cunningham.
He's tried his heart out, is Cunningham, but when the big fellas like Perolini, we just have not seen those big charging runs that's made him famous.
McVie takes the tackle, last one, 63 metres made. Goulding, another kick under pressure from Edwards. Prescott's after it this time. Robinson, it bounces into the arms of Morley. 6 to go, ball spills, play on again. Connolly, now referee brings them back for the knock-on. Connolly hasn't heard the whistle, neither's Prescott. This won't matter. Connolly thinks he scored. Prescott, a despairing dive after him, and Connolly looks over his shoulder and says, "You're kidding." And so does Graham West.
Well, he'll play the first knock-on, but he played advantage, didn't he? Because Robinson got to it. And that was knocked backwards. Well, he's got... The only thing I can see there, that he has to play the Robinson knock-on first. Now, if this is... And that's why he hasn't given the try. Definitely came off Robinson. Another look at it. Yeah. It's got to be a knock-on. Well, he allowed the advantage. Good refereeing by Campbell.
But that was the knock-on, wasn't it, from Saints? And if that's the case, surely this is play on.
Well, that's the first knock-on. Now then, if the referee applies the advantage and then there's none forthcoming, that's the reason why he's blown up for it.
And Saints do have head and feed.
Yep.
Saints have got head and feed at the scrum. Goulding picks it up from the base and gives it to Hammond. Hammond running across the face of play. Danny Arnold's gone without it now. Well, ball security is all important, and Twigamala will give a lesson in that.
On the first tackle as well. Who would want to be a coach? Sean McRae. Oh, well, he would have seen that. It was good work, though, by Carl Hammond. The winger did well to come inside Danny Arnold, but he just forgot the parcel.
Here's Farrell. Giant of a player, Farrell. He's only 21. It's incredible. Hall with a lovely dummy. Good tackling back by Morley. Murdoch, the dummy half to Edwards. Gives it to Quinnell. Scott Quinnell, who scored 4 tries here against a weakened St Helens side on Boxing Day, says it's his greatest memory from his time in rugby league. Wants to go out on a high tonight. At the moment, he is on a high because his team are leading. Last tackle here for Wigan. Connolly. Connolly thought he scored a try before. Connolly! And Arnold shepherds the ball dead. That will be a dropout from underneath the St Helens posts.
Quick thinking by the centre, Gary Connolly. Neat kick over the top, knows that the pressure will be on them. Good work by Danny Arnold, he had to be there. But excellent thinking by the big centre, Gary Connolly.
But in the last quarter of this match, a thrilling spectacle at Central Park. Wigan and Saints, toe to toe. Wigan, at the moment, on course to close the gap at the top to 1 point and set up a thrilling finale to this first Super League season. Cassidy up the middle, steps out of the tackle from Pickavance. Joint was there to bring him down. They're 10 metres from the line. O'Connor! Great defence again. Hall, Murdoch, Quinnell. It was high from Goulding. Yeah, that's the second, and the referee wants a word.
Now then, this will be interesting. You can see that it went across the shoulder. I don't think that made any contact with the face on impact. You see it again. Well, that looks okay to me.
Well, Goulding gets it ticking off, but the penalty has been given, and surely Wigan will kick at goal here.
Little doubt about that. The hooker, surely Martin Hall, will take all the time in the world. Edwards said, don't rush it. Well, perplexed look on the face of the skipper, Bobby Goulding. He thought that perhaps he should not have been penalised for that. It's been a frustrating game for him. First 15 minutes, everything was going oh so well, and then I'm afraid the wheels fell off.
Martin Hall then lining up this kick in front of what is a record Super League crowd tonight, 20,500 give or take, and that is a terrific response to this match at the top of the tree. Hall gets two more, and the majority of the crowd inside Central Park believe that Wigan are on the march and believe that they are closing the gap on their arch enemies at the top to just 1 point tonight. It would be hard, Steve-O, to argue.
They've scored some tremendous tries, haven't they? Some of the players been absolutely exhilarating. Connolly back to his best. And we just saw before the injury to Henry Paul, he was twinkling through the defence like we've seen for many seasons.
Well, Goulding, once a hero here at Central Park, is now being roundly booed every time he touches the ball. That's a little harsh, but I think it's because of the two high tackles that he's been pulled out for by David Campbell. And Bobby Goulding could be on his way to the dressing room.
He'll have to be careful. 2 cautions already. Well, before this game, I suspected that this Wigan pack could be outplayed by the St. Helens Big Six. It hasn't proved to be that way. Only this guy really has earned his spurs.
Another terrific run from Kieran Cunningham. Walked all over the top of Martin Offiah then. Goulding, long ball. Hammond takes over. Newlove, whose try really did get St. Helens going at the start of this second half. But Wigan have snuffed them out, and what's more, Arnold caught in possession on the last.
They're losing the plot. Really, Bobby Goulding should have been in there, taking control.
Big shoulder by Northey.
Oh, that was crunch time. He just held the shoulder, dipped it at the last moment.
And Rob Smythe's in Disneyland.
Oh, that was okay, Corral. Boom. Oh, let's hope he's okay. Northey set him up. We know who came off second best. And Rob Smythe hits the deck. Oh, Cape Canaveral from Northey. Boom. Let's hope that Smythe's okay. The left leg doubled underneath.
Well, I think they're more concerned about the head. He's got the head guard on, thankfully, Rob Smythe. And he's taken an almighty crack.
Well, it would also have winded him as well.
And he's in the blood bin.
Well, it's the best thing to do anyway. Make sure and check the ears, make sure there's no bleeding. No point in taking a risk, especially when you lead 30 points to 13. He's had a fine game, though.
And he's their top scorer in Super League, Rob Smythe. He scored a try in the first half, but he won't remember much about it at the moment. That was a huge hit. Crowd all watching the screen in the background as Smythe went off, and they certainly watched the collision. Andrew Craig has come on, and when Northey put his shoulder to the wheel, my word, there was a gasp around this ground.
Not just the wheel, all the spokes and everything just went, didn't it? Good refereeing there by David Campbell. Things getting a little bit excited out there. Carl Hammond went a little bit high, and the referee Campbell was quick to just have a quick talk to him.
Quinnell up the middle. Tackling back by Newlove. Last one for Wigan. Farrell. It's high, but it's too long. Bounces into the cop behind the posts. Andrew Farrell acknowledges the mistake.
Far too much beef behind it. Rather surprised me that he's elected to keep away from the kicking game all this match. When he puts in the left boot, far too strong. But look at that defence. It's been relentless. So they're moving up. Apart from the first 15 minutes, Eddie, this Wigan outfit in defence has showed how strong.
Joint. He had Craig Murdoch all round him as he got over the halfway line. Here's Newlove. Well, credit the league leaders. They aren't throwing the towel in, are they? They're keeping this going. Here's McVie. A quarter of an hour of the match to go. Over the top from McVie to Morley. Morley to Cunningham. Cunningham will exploit them up the middle. Bounces off one. Goulding's in support. He gets it out wide to Northey. Goulding's run around in support again. Crunching tackle from Twigamala. Last one for Saints. Perolini. Long pass. McVie steps away from Farrell. Newlove. Danny Arnold. Now caught in possession again. Stern defence. Sean McRae knew there was a hope then, but Wigan had other ideas.
Well, it was worth the option of using the power play rather than the kick. It was a long ball from Perolini. And Andy Farrell came out of the one line of defence, took the gamble, and they got away with it. They really were stretched, the Wigan defence then.
It's Hall who gives it to Farrell. He went without the ball. The ball went backwards, says the referee. That's a contentious decision. Robinson to Connolly. It'll be even more contentious if they score. Connolly cuts inside Perolini and Goulding. Connolly gets away almost from Morley, gives it to Hall. Back it goes to Quinnell, and Quinnell will rumble it up the middle again.
Another great
completed.
Another great break. Bron Connolly really is in tremendous form.
Oh, Twigamala bounced off that challenge, and he's still going. Twigamala, put it down to Twigamala. Horton will score it, but Twigamala created that with one almighty run down the left wing. He just moved them out of the way like a bulldozer and created the space for Horton.
It also shows the character of the man as well. Not only is he a superb athlete, he also is a team man. Get out of the way. That's the second one. Two more. I'm sure he could have gone himself, but he opted for the team effort. And Simon Horton gleefully accepts the 4. Powerhouse. Bang. Get out of the way, Hunt. Get out of the way. There's no way for you. Northey couldn't do anything. Good support play. You can see them all spread-eagled out behind him. What a tremendous effort. Now, was that a knock-on? Either way, Campbell said play on. But look at this. You don't need a dark alley. You can have the sunlight, you can have the lights on, everything. They went far too high. I'm sure he could have made it himself. But it was a superb pass.
And Martin Hall has missed the conversion. 34-13 though.
It's just a delight, isn't it, to see the big fella running around this field. Vaiga Twigamala.
But Steve-o, that's a knock-on for me.
Well, it went back and you can see that Campbell had a good view of it, according to him.
Oh, Twigamala now in defence. Deary, deary me.
Try-maker, crunch tackler.
And Derek McVie just couldn't get out of the way. I'm sure he wanted to. Oh.
Vaiga Twigamala, surely he must be the best all-round rugby league player that's running around.
And Twigamala is heading off to captain Western Samoa in the Oceania Cup. He's made 21 tackles, he has broken tackles, he has created tries. They will miss him when he goes away for at least 3 and maybe 4 matches. O'Connor's off, Cowie returns. Here he is. They've probably lost Henry Paul tonight for a majority of the remainder of the season as well, Wigan. There's a long, long way in this Super League race to run yet. McVie gave Sean Edwards a short sharp one there for his trouble.
Yep, and a few words were spoken after it as well. Referee Campbell's got to keep a close eye on this.
Robinson with a drop goal attempt. Robinson makes the 1 point. He was about 35, 40 metres out then and popped it over, clean as a whistle.
Super effort. Jason Robinson. Well, he's done those in his junior days.
But that's his first in the paid ranks.
Yeah, when he played the halfback, and he would have enjoyed every second of that. Great connection, it really was. Sweet as a nut.
A wonderful all-round talent, Jason Robinson. So 10 minutes to go. Wigan 35-13 ahead. They've answered a few questions, and here is the rumble that we thought was coming. Here's the trouble. There's frustration in the blue and white jerseys of the Saints. There's no doubt about that.
Well, it had to come. Simmer, bubble, boil, and someone gets burnt. Northey there, trying to use the elbow. It's a bad one. And there you see Quinnell. Well, you miss with yours, but Quinnell said, I won't miss with mine. He's still having to go as Quinnell. Missed again. That's a one. Quinnell saw it. He gets one in. 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe he's sorting out the lotto numbers. But it was Northey that used the left arm to start with.
So he's the man who's penalised. Northey concedes the penalty. Quinnell, of course, doesn't really matter as far as he's concerned from a disciplinary point of view. He leaves after tonight, so he wouldn't be on his way to Red Hall Lane anyway. Well, the Saints looking down the barrels now of their first defeat of the season, and their first defeat in 18 games. It's been a good run from Sean McRae. It's his first ever defeat as St Helens coach, and it will be a bitter pill for him to swallow, but he will be with us tomorrow night at Headingley. He's our guest on the programme. Tomorrow night we'll hear from that man Sean McRae during the Leeds Castleford coverage that will bring you on Sky Sports tomorrow at 5:30 from Headingley.
Good refereeing again by Campbell. He's keeping close to the action. Keep them low, boys. Let's not do anything silly. It would be a shame to spoil this excellent game. It's been a tremendous match.
That's Andrew Johnson, gaining valuable experience. The young men like Johnson. Kick over the top was from Edwards. No, that almost went down the lens of our camera, and so did 2 players with it.
Nice option as well. You could see that Danny Arnold was just caught a little bit short infield. Oh, he could have got the bounce there, Connolly. It would have been another try. Well, it's at times like this at 35-13 that the likes of Sean Edwards do enjoy their rugby league. But this guy doesn't deserve losing money. Kieran Cunningham, he has played like a lion.
Well, Saints are league leaders, and they've not got to the top of the tree without big effort this season, and they will want to redress the balance a little, because 35-13 is quite a beating at the moment.
Well, at least they're still keeping part of this game. Try to lift their confidence.
It was 41-26 to the Saints at Knowsley Road on Good Friday. Goulding with a delicate angled crossfield kick into the arms of Murdoch, tackled immediately by Prescott.
Well spotted by the sweeper there. Murdoch realised all the options that's available from Bobby Goulding. There's nothing better than to go one side and kick cross field.
Wigan with the majority of the possession in the second half, and they've done quite something with it too, haven't they? Look at Twigamala. It takes 4 to bring him down.
Still isn't down.
All right, takes 4 to stop him. And a bus, and a car.
A bomb, you name it.
Here's Quinnell again. Wrapped up by Joint. What a player. And here's another, Robinson. Not going anywhere on that occasion, though. Carl Hammond saw to that. Last tackle.
He's had a fine game, hasn't he, Jason Robinson? Before this match, he made 108 clean breaks. He's the leader in clean breaks in Super League. And he's added to that today by Jason Robinson. He really has had a fine game. So much speed.
Hunt gives the ball to Prescott. Craig is after Prescott and gets him. Clean breaks today 5, so he's made 113 now for the season so far. Quite an effort from him.
Quite an effort from you. I didn't know you had that many fingers, Eddie.
Goulding to Pickavance. Pickavance, who made quite an impact when he came on at Knowsley Road on Good Friday. Not quite the same tonight. Cunningham, though, this fella has been playing out of his skin all night for Saints. Goulding. Out the back door it goes. Morley. Morley will score for St Helens. It's consolation, surely, and nothing more. But Chris Morley will accept the 4 points. And I think St Helens will think of what might have been when they look back on this match.
Positive run again. Kieran Cunningham. The stats from running from dummy half and making clean breaks in this game must well be into double figures. Goulding did well to get it away. And the big fella, Morley over. Consolation, as Eddie mentioned. But this guy just never gives in. Looking for the opportunity and the opening, and had the skill to keep it alive. So did Goulding. The substitute will remember the 4, but it'll make no difference to the end result.
Morley with the try, and Bobby Goulding, I can tell you, has kicked the goal. It's 35 points to 19. Goulding wanting to get on with things and anxious to restart the play. Wigan have not yet formed the defensive line. Now they have. Goulding was thinking of a shallow kick-off. That sails out on the full. It's not been Goulding's night.
Well, at least he was trying to be positive, even though it did end up negative. Well, what a fine start to this match. It looked as though he was going to be the buzzing Bobby.
Well, they started so well, didn't they? 7-0 up, and then the Wigan machine got rolling. They rolled their sleeves up, and they said, come on, let's get stuck in. Newlove managed to get a hand to the penalty to stop it going out, but all he did was give the possession to Andrew Craig. Here's Cowie.
That's got to be a penalty.
It is. Cowie holds up 2 fingers, says it was a 2-man tackle. I don't know whether it was that or a victory salute from Cowie. It was certainly Winston Churchill-esque. Watch this.
Well, Cunningham's in there. McVeigh reefs the ball away. Sheer desperation, that's what it is. They've been totally outplayed.
Well, they always believed here at Central Park that this would be the night that would sort the men out from the boys. The referee calls that back for a forward pass. Martinafaya thinks he's been robbed of 4. Try is not given.
It was a great run from Quinnell, wasn't it? Nice round the pass there. Well, pretty hard to decide. You can see David Campbell looking into the touch judge for assistance. See better from the high shot. Did well, Quinnell. Well, that looks all right to me. Looks fine.
Marginal decision by the referee, and it went in St Helens' favour. The coaching duo of Joe Lydon and Graham West have left the television gantry, I can tell you. And as they have departed, they've told us they're very pleased with the performance tonight. But the win has come at the high cost of Henry Paul's injury. And that is just having a bit of a cloud over the celebrations that no doubt will follow this win. In case you're just tuning in, Henry Paul in hospital with a suspected broken ankle. Here's Cunningham. Last tackle. Hammond's running it. Puts the kick in now. Not to anywhere in particular.
There's some
That's scrappy.
Yeah, there's some tired boys out there now. Hectic pace. Hammond trying to chip the ball over the top. There'll be knock on.
Twigamala got a fingertip to it. But it's Wigan who are in possession. Andrew Craig thumped to the ground by Cunningham. Connolly at dummy half. Cassidy.
This Wigan pack have gone about their business. Just worked hard. Done nothing spectacular. They leave that to the three quarters. But they really have rolled up their sleeves, done the hard work, done the defensive stuff.
Murdoch kick into space for O'Fire or Hunt. Hunt got to it, but the flag's up on the far side. Now, was that a foot in touch by O'Fire, or did it go off the body of Alan Hunt? We'll see who gets head and feed.
Well, I think Hunt gets a bit of a touch to this, and then it just touches the line, does it? Well,
O'Fire certainly had his foot on the line.
Well, was the ball on the line before he picked it up?
Well, apparently not, because it's Saints who've got the head and feed. Goulding with a kick for Prescott to chase. Prescott against Murdoch. Murdoch will win this race. Oof. And Prescott comes across and drops on the prone body of Craig Murdoch.
Good play, though. They tried hard, get the ball away, but this man just keeps coming at you.
He's perpetual motion, isn't he?
So difficult to get down. From a standing start, must be the fastest man in the world on the rugby league scene.
It's nearly all over, and Wigan have closed the gap to a single point at the top of Super League. Murdoch, collared by Pickavants. It's Quinnell. Is it going to be a fairy tale ending for Quinnell? No, not this time. There's the siren. The match is over. Wigan have won. They've won a vital 2 points against their closest rivals by 35 points to 19. Bobby Goulding goes off disappointed. First defeat of the season. First defeat for Sean McRae. But what a match from both these sides, and particularly from Robinson and Twigamala. Sean McRae makes his way down from his position in the main stand. It has been a superb affair from start to finish. Great contest, but Wigan have shown their true quality tonight, and they close the gap at the top to a single point.